Hey everyone, it's your favorite girl back with another video. Hi. So today I just wanted to kind of jump into the topic of Black History Month. And as I was growing up in two different cities, states, the difference between Black History Month and a predominantly Black city, well, school, I guess, and then versus a predominantly white school and Black History Month. So we'll talk about the Black school first. And basically, we did a lot of projects. We got to know a little bit more of our history. We did like plays. I remember this one time in the 5th grade, I did a poem called God, Why Did You Make Me Black? Well, the whole class did it. Like we had everyone was supposed to be like asking God, like, why do you make me black? When, the color of my skin, doesn't get me the privileges that everyone else has. And, just going into delving deep into that. And then God answered, and they had their part that they had to say. And, we did songs, and, it was just very got a sense of your culture. And it was very good. And I mean, I didn't like the fact that they would used to only, when we did Black History projects, they would only focus on 3 people, the same people they always focus about, which is Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Rosa Parks, and fill in a blank for anybody else, just maybe like Oprah or somebody just very, it's just when I did projects, I always wanted to do somebody that was different, not so, I did Billie Holiday one time, and it's just I always wanted to do somebody that was different than everyone else, because you get tired of hearing about the same old people. It's just and not meaning that in a rude way, just meaning it as we know their story. Give us some other Black people who have done major things as well that are less well known, and so, coming from that environment and then moving into an environment where it was a predominantly white school, it was very different for me. I remember in my 8th grade history class, my teacher, she had put half of the room as slaves and then the other half as slave masters. And weirdly, I was on the side of the slave masters, and I feel like she did that, I guess, so that she wouldn't offend me. But it was just I wouldn't have been one. But and she was just basically I guess trying to say how would you feel if you weren't given privileges, or that you were told that you couldn't do this because of the color of your skin and you couldn't have that, or or things like that. She was just trying to get I guess the other kids to try to see from a different perspective. And sometimes it was just I felt because, and in all of my history classes in a predominantly white school, I was one out of 2 Black kids. And if it wasn't another Black kid in the class, I was the only Black person. And so it did make me feel kind of uncomfortable, because when they would start talking about slavery and things like that, everybody would look at me. And one of my history classes in senior year, I was in the front of the class, so everybody would turn and just look at me. I could just feel the eyeballs of everybody just staring at me. And it really bothered me, because I don't like the fact that they only talked about slavery when they talked about Black history. It always started with slavery. And it's our history did not start with slavery. Our ancestors were doing a lot more things. We weren't even slaves, so I would like to hear more about that in schools, what we were doing before slavery happened, as opposed to just starting it off being oh well, Christopher Columbus and all this other stuff. I just don't like that. I don't like it. I feel there should be more to it, and there is more to it. And a lot of the stuff that I learned about Black history, I didn't learn until I was older, because they're not going to teach you the stuff that you need to know in schools. I remember growing up, we had this paper, and it said a lot of the Black inventors and their inventions, and it was a whole bunch of people on there that no one ever talks about. And and that was sort of the inspiration sometimes when we would do Black History projects back in the predominantly Black schools, for, you know, to bring up the different inventions that other people have done, you know. And it's just like, you know, I don't know, like I just kind of want to get on there and say that. I just kind of want to post something because I've been away for a month, and, you know, I just wanted to have my thoughts about that. Leave your likes, comments, I mean, whatever you got to say about what I said, and peace out.